South Memphis, Flynn Broadcasting Stations. It's time for Wolo and Friends on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Presented by Homer Skelton Hyundai. Here is your host, the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin.
Welcome in. It is Hump Day. It is Wednesday, August the 24th. We are now 9 days away from Tiger football. We're 9 days away. We're actually less because we've got some football. Notre Dame or Northwestern is playing in Ireland. That is going to happen this weekend. So we're getting closer and closer and closer. Look who's back. J-Mo off the IR. The injured reserve. Are you feeling okay? Everything
feeling
all
much
right?
better. Ready to roll.
You got energy?
I'm ready for golf picks today. I spent the morning looking up the players, who to pick this week,
Well,
who has the biggest advantage going into the tournament.
Well,
So I'm
you
excited.
know who's got the biggest advantage.
Right.
And I will say this. After all these weeks, from first to last, there's a separation of about $1 million. That's Johnny, who's been in that position most, Johnny Lyon. And then you have been in the rear most of the time, but it's $1 million. Then I'm 400,000 behind Mickey, behind Johnny. Mickey's basically less than 200,000 behind. So whoever wins this week wins this deal. We're not doing the bonus, just the 2.7 mil for winning, and whoever gets it, is going to win. Now you do know, as you were doing your research, that Scotty Scheffler is 10 under par to start this tournament.
That's right. Big advantage.
Patrick Cantlay is 8 under, then Xander is 6 under. Bunch of guys at 4, including Rory, Sung Jae Im, Sam Burns at 5, Justin Thomas at 3. So you got to keep that in mind as you make your picks today. Either way, I know, because I'm second, I know I'm going to have a big advantage because I'm going to take one of the top 2, whichever one you don't take, if you go that way. But you're crazy enough to try something like, who did you go with last week that actually played well?
Cam Young tied for second going into the weekend. He just had a bad weekend, but man, he was playing good golf.
Colin Morikawa was in it until he got a 10 on a hole. He was the last pick of the darn draft last time. So that will be a lot of fun, and Mickey Barker and Johnny Lyon are going to join us. No Jarvis Greer today. He is off on a vacay, but we've got Pete Pranica, the voice on television of the Grizzlies, and he will chat with us about the schedule, about the Kevin Durant non-story. And you know what else we're going to chat a little bit about? He's doing something in October. I think he's in September in rehearsals. Have you ever seen or heard about Mark Twain and the one-man show that Hal Holbrook used to do years ago?
I know Mark Twain. I don't know about the one-man show here.
Oh, yeah. So this was famous. This is years ago. Hal Holbrook toured around the country doing a one-man show, and he did these from sayings that were written by Mark Twain for years. And Pete Pranica is going to reenact that for at least one show, and there's so much interest, maybe 2 shows, as a part of the Shakespearean Company in Memphis. So he's doing this one-man show. I think it's in October. So we'll talk a little bit about that with Pete, because I think that is really, really interesting. So that is what is on the docket today. There are some interesting stories. One sad one. We get to it in a second. I'll let everybody know we're sitting in the Family Leisure Studios, where you can still get the summer clearance sale deals like pools with $2,000 off and do-it-yourself specials where you can get a season worth of chemicals if you go do that deal right now for next year. Can't beat that. And don't forget the patio furniture in-stock sets, 30% off, because those are being moved for fall. And I'm sure in a couple of weeks we'll have a new sale. So please take advantage of the summer clearance sale at I-40 and Wooden Road. Family Leisure, where family and fun come together. And I got to tell you, our title sponsor for years now, we're so proud to be with them. And This is a great relationship that has continued forever. It is really a company that you can believe in because they really take care of their customers. They have great customer retention because they have philosophies like this. At Homer Skelton Hyundai, you will never pay more than sticker price on a car. Some dealerships, it's business, right? They're going to take advantage of the laws of supply and demand. There's still, if you go by any dealership, there's not full lots anywhere. We still have a shortage. I guess we still have a chip shortage. That'll all get taken care of in the long run, but who's taking care of you right now? Homer Skelton Hyundai at the corner of Highway 78 and Craft Road, first exit in Mississippi. That is where you'll never pay more than sticker price on a brand new Hyundai or Genesis, not at Homer Skelton. It's with sadness today that I let you know Len Dawson passed away. Lenny Dawson, by the way, was one of those guys that was just incredible at whatever he did. Not only was he a great quarterback, he was a great collegiate quarterback. Then he had to sit as a backup at a couple of different NFL teams. And then his collegiate coach went to the Kansas City Chiefs in the old AFL. Hank Stram lured him away, and they took off together. He played in 2 Super Bowls, won one of them, made the Hall of Fame as a player. Then, in the later stages of his career, he literally would leave practice in Kansas City and go to, I forget which network affiliate. I want to say it was CBS, but I'm not 100%. He would leave practice and go do the 6 and 10 news, sports, at the affiliate in Kansas City and became beloved there. He's in the Hall of Fame not just as a player, but as a broadcaster. That's pretty phenomenal. What a great story. 87 years, a great life lived. He will really be missed in the city of Kansas City, and he'll be missed all over the place. Len Dawson was really a treasure. Our condolences, sympathies to his family. So Ryan Silverfield yesterday met the press. I watched the whole press conference, and I'm not sure I've seen more calm Ryan Silverfield. I am telling you, it's just my own hunch, just from watching him over all these years. I think he thinks he's got a really good team. I've said all along, I think there's 8 wins. I wouldn't go over that. I think the over-under at a lot of these places is 7.5. I'm of the belief 8's there, so I would go over on that. But they got to go 3-1. I mentioned this yesterday. They've got to split between Annapolis and Starkville. And then they got to win the first game against Arkansas State, which I hear is going to be a better team. Butch Jones' second year. We'll see. I think there's 8. He talked about the running back position. There are really 7 guys, I think. He's only going to use 3 for straight running plays. He may feed 2 other guys in that old slot position that he used. Gibson, he used Pollard. He was the main guy that really sort of defined that position for Norvell. But he's talking about Brandon Thomas, who led the country last year after the first 3 games in rushing. What happened to Brandon was he got injured both physically and psychologically because he fumbled a couple of times, and I don't think he recovered from that. So we'll see. But it looks like he's going to be number 1 on the depth chart just by what Silverfield said. And Ryan, I think, is getting close to coming up with his depth chart, probably by the end of this week, I hope. But he may hold off on that until opening day. Who knows? But he was hinting that Brandon Thomas would be number 1. Now you got a bunch of other guys, and he mentioned them all. Asa Martin, he said, has had a tremendous fall camp. He mentioned the kid that transferred from Northern Illinois, Ducker, who was the freshman of the year in that conference. Rodriguez Clark, I watched him in practice. He's in the best shape I've ever seen him in. Now you got this kid Sutton, who is a freshman, who they say has Kenny Gainwell speed. First time I heard about him was when we were in Hawaii. I was with the recruiting coordinator, picked me up from the airport. And he goes, I'm going to tell you, this kid is faster than Kenny Gainwell. I said, there's no way. Because you hear that all the time, but the next guy up until he really gets in camp, and then you see. But they are bragging about this guy's speed, and they do say it is Kenny Gainwell-like. So there's like 7 guys. Oh, DeAndre's and Darius Coffey is another guy who had a great spring game. He was a safety. I remember last year the defensive coaches saying, this kid is so talented, he has NFL future on him. He's got to learn the position. Well, they decided that this year they're going to put him as a running back and a slot guy. And he was great in the spring game. So there's another guy. I mean, I don't know, because the way you listen to what Ryan says, he tells you, I only want really 3 main running backs. That does not include that slot position. But he goes, I want 15 to 20 carries for the main guy. That would be Brandon Thomas at this point. I want 10 or 12 for the number 2 back, because you're not going to have, if a typical game is 42, he really wants 50-50. When you got a quarterback like Hennigan, you're going to throw the ball. And he's got, again, depth at wide receiver. He mentioned Eddie Lewis. Eddie Lewis may be the guy. Javon Ivory, I think, is number 1 overall. But then there's Eddie Lewis. There's the kid that transferred. His name is Skates. He mentioned Kobe Drake, a guy who came on last year at the end of the year. Did not mention a guy that I think can really be a great player. And I don't know if he does that on purpose or if the kid didn't have a good camp. He was good today. I was out of practice. And that is Rock Taylor. And Rock Taylor got open a bunch last year, and Rock Taylor's got an NFL-type body. He did not have great hands last year. That's sort of what slowed his progress down. But in the practice that I saw, I caught everything. But he's not mentioned. But there's another guy. I mean, and Silverfield himself said they're 7 deep at receiver. So you're 7 deep at running back. We know he's really bragging about Caden Priestcorn, who's going to be the tight end there. You've got some depth there. And the only question I got, and it's the key to everything, because we know the quarterback's freshman All-American. We know he's already on the Manning quarterback watch. He's the only sophomore. He's the youngest guy on that Manning watch. So he's getting a lot of notoriety. We're good there. But what about the offensive line? How deep is that offensive line? You got guys that were hurt last year trying to come back. I think you're really solid at center with Likes. I think Gamble's a really good player. I think Myers and Dale are good. We'll see. We'll see. But that, to me, on the offensive side, that's the biggest question mark. And that is so critical. People always seem to forget O-line, how critical it is, and they always forget special teams. And I contend to you last year, Memphis lost at least 2 games because they didn't have a place kicker.
But then
that would have been 8 wins.
But then 1-1 on special teams against Mississippi State, you could argue, so it cancels out there as well. But that's different as well. That's not place kicking, like you said.
Yeah, that was heads-up play by a guy who's now in the NFL, although he got hurt. Calvin Austin, I understand, is hurt.
Really? I didn't even see that. I was looking at Brandon Thomas's stats right there. 6 yards an attempt last year is you got 3-4 guys that can compete with that is unbelievable.
Hey, after 3 weeks, he was number 1 running back in the country by average.
Or
it might have been total yards. I can't remember which. Yeah.
And also, I've got the regular season win total for Memphis at 7.5, and if you take the over, you're getting plus money there on most sports books.
Yeah, I'm saying take it.
I like it.
I'm saying take it. And I'm not the biggest gambling guy in the world, but if you ask Stats Norsworthy, who did a show with me forever, he always says, when I'm looking at lines, I'm pretty good at establishing them before I even see them. So I know which way I'm going. I think 7.5. Now Vegas is awfully good at making it as tough as possible so it gets money on both sides. That's the whole key to the line. They're not doing it just to be prolific. They're doing it to make you want to bet. And I think that's about right. And I think if I'm choosing between those 7 and 8, I'm going 8. I think it's there. But again, they got to start 3-1 if that is to occur. And only time will tell on that. Speaking of watch lists, Quindell Johnson, who's like on every watch list, he got another one yesterday. He is on the Senior Bowl watch list. I don't think there's betting on this one, but I would bet you that Quindell Johnson makes the Senior Bowl unless he gets injured. and let's hope that does not happen. I really like that. I am very sad about Emmanuel Acot's defection to Western Kentucky and Rick Stansbury. Somebody, I think, on one of the newscasts referred to him as Rude Rick. I mean, that is pretty rude. Guy is already signed. He's on your campus. He's enrolled in classes, and you steal him away? Had to be. And I've got a very good friend who has connections in Bowling Green, Kentucky, I think in the banking business, not to be too specific. But he's working on it. We're going to find out just how much Rick Stansbury raised to get money for Acot to come. You know, this is a weird thing. There is a connection, all speculation on my part. But I think that Keontae Johnson, the kid that decided to try to play again, I think Keontae Johnson is a connector in this saga that makes Memphis lose Emmanuel Acot. Here's what I think happens. So Memphis was in on the Keontae Johnson sweepstakes. Along with Kansas State that got him, it was Nebraska and Western Kentucky. So, speculation here, trying to connect all the dots. Stansbury raises a bunch of money to try to get capital through NIL to give to Keontae Johnson. When Keontae Johnson goes to Kansas State, he's got that money, doesn't have his player. So then he tampers. I don't know how else you put it, right? He tampers with Emmanuel Acot because he's got the money. And Acot takes the money and goes to Bowling Green. Here's the one offshoot that I find is very interesting. I don't know who he is, but, you know, Memphis has their own collective, the 901 Fund, 901fund.org, if you want to participate. Somebody yesterday upped the ante and made a huge contribution to that fund because now we know it's a war. I think we knew it was a war before, but now that's evidence. And I hate to say this because I unless Penny's got something up his sleeve, which he seems to always do, but I don't know how you replace Acot. Memphis needs shooting, and he could shoot. Memphis loves to have guys that can go in and out at multiple positions, and when you're 6'8" like he is, that really fits the bill. He's also a good defensive player. There is, unfortunately, unless there's somebody I don't know about, or Penny's going to do the same kind of tampering that Stansbury did, because I know there was talk about Amani Bates. That is toothpaste out of the tube, and I don't think Penny has the stomach for Bates and his dad again. But unless there's somebody out there that we just don't know that Penny does, there is no way to replace Emmanuel Acot. The only guy that can really make you change your mind about that, I mentioned him yesterday in other discussions with other people. They all say the same thing too. Jonathan Lawson has to be the guy that we heard about when he was really young, that he was going to be the best Lawson. Now, I don't think he's going to be the best Lawson because Diedrich has that. I mentioned that yesterday. Diedrich was freshman of the year, and Jonathan got redshirted. Now, there was a lot more talent on this team last year than there was when Diedrich was a freshman. But nonetheless, if Jonathan Lawson lives up to the original billing, then maybe you don't miss Acot as much. But I think if you're trying to be objective and fair and tell the story the way it is, this seems on paper to be a loss you can't replace.
Especially his veteranship, how many years he's played, how much experience he has in the college game. You know, you're asking a lot of Jonathan Lawson at that point, and maybe it's further down the road more than this year that you would want that. But, man, that guy's a good player that you lost.
And Acot, well, he's well-traveled. Now he's been to 4 schools.
That's right.
He started in Arizona, right? Went to Boise, came here, practiced all summer.
So you count Memphis then?
I do.
You have to.
He enrolled in school, practiced with the team, and now he's off fourth school.
That's right.
Probably his last school. I think it is his last go. I don't think he has any eligibility after this.
That's right.
All right, that's crazy. All right, we got to take a break. When we come back, it'll be time for golf picks. It'll be J-Mo, me, Mickey, and Johnny. I got to thank Mickey and Johnny all year long. They've been such good troopers participating in all the fun that we have had. This portion of the show is brought to you by Miramichi. Miramichi is the place to go if you want to practice. It's the place to go if you want beauty. It's the place to go if you want a challenge. 7,400 yards. You can play it like I play it at 6,300. You could play it at 5,000 yards. I think that's their uppermost tees for old-timers and some women. They take into account your abilities, and they'll help you make your abilities better because of those practice facilities. And you get unlimited range balls with your green fee and a cart. And it's reasonable. If you're a senior, you go today, you'll pay under $33. And it's only 12 minutes away from downtown, up 51 to Woodstock. Miramichi. Golf Week says if you play golf in the state of Tennessee, you've got to check out Miramichi. We take the break. When we come back, golf picks. Our final ones of the year. It's the Tour Championship from East Lake in Atlanta. We break it down in just a second.
Be sure to follow us at Sports56 WHBQ on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube to watch live video of our shows, stay up to date with station events, and have chances to win prizes. Don't miss out on anything that's going on. Follow us at Sports56 WHBQ.
Hi, folks. Good news from the Chevy Sheriff for truck buyers. A Chevy Truck Month at the Sunrise Chevy Ranch. Rebates up to $2,000. Discounts high as $10,000. Bankrupt, slow pay, bad credit. It's okay. Sunrise specializes in secondary financing. Need a good used truck? Remember, Sunrise Chevy specializes in used cars and trucks under $15,000. Chevy trucks cost less at the Sunrise Chevy Ranch, partner. Find new roads to 385 in Houston, Levy, and Collierville. Check out the all-new Sunrise Truck Corral. Huge selection of nothing but trucks. All makes, all models, all prices, all trucks, all the time. Next to Sunrise Wolf Chase.
I'm here with Kyle Storms from Big Green Egg. Kyle, I hear people all the time say how they love their Big Green Egg, but what makes a Big Green Egg so great?
Thanks, Stats. The fact that our grill is made out of the highest quality ceramic allows our customers to smoke, bake, roast, sear, and grill, all while locking in the most amount of heat and flavor in their favorite foods.
What kind of fuel does the Big Green Egg use?
100% natural lumpwood charcoal. That's really where half our flavor comes from.
How many sizes does the Big Green Egg come in?
We have 7 different sizes and all different configurations ranging from metal stands, wood tables, and metal carts with a lifetime warranty. So we really do have a size and price point for everyone.
Where can someone go to see the entire lineup of Big Green Egg?
Garden Spas and Pool, Germantown Hardware, Hamilton's Fireplace and Grills, East Memphis Ace, and Cordova Ace Hardware.
Gabe?
Okay, here's the idea.
Well, let's just jump right in.
A Central Barbecue race.
What are you talking about?
We race to see which one of us can go to each of the 4 Central Barbecue locations and eat at each one faster.
You mean eat it all 4 in one day?
As fast as you can.
Does everything have to be a competition with you?
Life is a competition, my friend, and this way we get to compete and eat.
That seems like a lot of food.
Do you want to be a winner or not?
Well, yeah, I guess.
Well, you're not going to be. There can only be one winner of the Great Central Barbecue Race, and that's going to be me.
The Great Central Barbecue Race, so you've already named it.
Named it? I've already printed posters.
Now, back to Wolo and Friends on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM, presented by Homer Skelton Hyundai. Here once again is the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin.
Mickey Barker, Johnny Lyon, final. Man, I hate it when we all kind of see time just fly by, but man, what a season it's been. I'm going to ask Mickey and Johnny their favorite moments of this year, their favorite story, excluding the live controversy. We don't want to make that a prime story, although it has been the story of the year. So we'll make some picks and talk a little golf here with our guys in a second. It's brought to you in part by the good folks at Grind City Brewing and that wonderful Pilsner known as Poppy's Pills. It is light, crisp. It really is refreshing, especially on a hot day. We're going to have a hot weekend, so this might be perfect after you cut your lawn for one of the last times, or maybe you're playing golf or working on your pool. Whatever makes you sweat, you can get refreshed with this ultra crushable beer from the folks at Grind City. So it's made right here in Memphis. It's available in 6-packs or 15-packs. You can get it at your favorite retailer, including the Spirit Shop, Eddie Connor's Place at Poplar and St. Nick. It's best enjoyed ice cold. I love it that way. Get what the doctor ordered, Poppy's Pills, the Pilsner from Grind City Brewing. So Johnny Lyon joins us now, former publisher and editor of Mid-South Golfer, and the guy that has done just an amazing job with what's going on in Memphis public golf. That would be Mickey Barker. Welcome, gentlemen. Johnny Lyon, let me start with you. Your favorite moments this year on the PGA Tour. Good morning.
Yeah. Hey, Wolo. It's been a fun year. Has to be Will Zalatoris, the way that he played in Memphis and the playoff and the crazy lie on number 11.
No.
And the fact that he's not even going to be on the playing championship at East Lake is sad, but he had a great year.
It is really sad because these are herniated discs. He got hurt last year. You look at that guy, he weighs nothing. Like if he turns sideways, you can't see him. His waist is like 28. And he's young. So to have this kind of an injury, because he hurt his back a little last year, now he's even out of the President's Cup because of those herniated discs. That's really a sad story because he finally gets his win, and now he can't play. What a bummer for Will Zalatoris. Mickey Barker, what were your favorite moments this year?
I think the Scotty Scheffler winning 4 times, including the Masters, to me, that's the highlight of the season. I think it was just fantastic for the game.
It really was. But you know what? Since the Masters, he's not been the guy that he was early on when he won 4 times in, like a month and a half or 2 months?
Right, but he finished second in the U.S. Open, and he was top 5 in the British Open. So, I would take the rest of his year.
All right, Johnny, we can't ignore the LIV Tour. That has been the biggest story all year long. There's a rumor that after this, there are 7 other names, including Cam Smith, Mark Leishman, maybe Hideki Matsuyama. Those are the 3 that are the biggest prominent names. Cam Young's been in there. Ricky Fowler's been in there. But they were both in that meeting with Tiger in Delaware last week. So I don't know if they are going. What are you hearing about the 7 new names, if anything, that may be going to LIV?
The biggest one, Cam Smith, is the one that, looks like he's going. But, of course, the tour, announced the new PIP program today. And they pumped that up. It's for the top 20 players who are the most popular on the tour.
Right.
Get bonuses. And they've upped that to $100 million worth of bonuses.
Whoa.
So...
Now, and what's the formula on that? I mean, is it the most social media connections? Or I've yet to really figure out what is the formula that determines who gets that bonus money.
I think it's just the most popular on social media. Tiger, in all rights, should win it every year, and then it's like 2nd through 10 from there. But I think it's just the most popular on social media.
It is interesting. Mickey, your thoughts on that player meeting and what may come out of that, because they've adopted some of the principles, not all of them, but some of the principles that basically the LIV Tour has used.
Yeah, they really have pushed up the top, propping up the top 30 or 50 players. But one of the big things that I saw come out of his conference this morning was guaranteeing exempt members at least $500,000 a year. So endorsements would do a lot of that, but now they're going to guarantee them at least $500,000, whether you make a cut all year long or not.
Well, that to me is almost like, they're saying, all right, we're giving you this $500,000 guarantee. That should take your expenses for showing up and playing, because over history, they've been saying, we want you to play the first 2 days for nothing. And now they're saying, okay, it's not for nothing. We're guaranteeing you. And I would say most of those guys, I don't think their expenses are $500,000. They're a couple $100,000 for sure. But you're going to end up on the positive side with that new guarantee. Is that for all 125 that get eligibility?
That is correct. Top 125, you're exempt on the tour, and then from above that, I think it's one up to above that, we're going to give them $5,000 a week travel stipend.
So and then that $500,000, it's almost like a draw for a commissioned salesperson. Once you get the $500,000, then you start collecting your money, but that offsets the winnings. So it's not that big a guarantee, really, if you think about it. Because if you keep your card, you're making more than $500,000. But it's still something along the way, and it is in response, I would guess, to the Live Tour. All right, these golf picks have been so darn competitive. From Johnny's first place to J-Mo's last, there's the separation of $1 million. I'm 400,000 behind Johnny. Mickey, you're 200, less than that, behind him. So whoever wins this week is going to win our Pick'em contest. It couldn't be more perfect. That is for certain. We're not doing the $20 million bonus because that would be crazy. I mean, the leader is not even $8 million. So we're just going to go with the $2.7 million and the regular breakdown for the tour and let it play out that way. J-Mo mired in last place, I think, the entire year, but yet only $1 million away. A win this week, you'd win the darn thing. Tell me who you are going with.
I did not come here today with the intention of doing this, but I'm just going to take Scotty Scheffler. He's at 10 under par. He's won 4 times this year. I'm going to take Scotty Scheffler.
What? You would be crazy not to take him. He's 10 under.
That's kind of, you're right.
I was thinking you wouldn't because you're crazy.
I almost didn't, so you were right on track there.
Just so I know, who were you going to
I can't
take?
give it away because I might try and take him later.
Oh, that's fair. That's very fair. Well, then, because I don't know that Cantlay is going to win 2 weeks in a row, but I'd be an idiot not to take 8 under. He's only 2 behind Scheffler, and he beat him last week. So I'll go with Patty Ice. So now it's Mickey.
Well, I'll continue right down the trend. I'm going to take Xander Schauffele.
Yeah, he's 6 under. It just makes total sense. Now, you got a lot of opportunities here, Johnny Lyon, and you've made it work, I think, except for 2 weeks where I was in the number 1 spot. You have been there. So the majority of the time you've been there, you've been excellent. What is going on through that Lion mind right now?
I'm going to have to go with Rory McIlroy.
All right. He starts at 4 under. So Rory is your pick. So now, was Rory in there? Now you can disclose who you were going to go with.
I was going to take Sam Burns, and I'm still going to take Sam Burns.
He's at 500.
That's right.
So you go Sam Burns. I wish you'd taken him first. I would have taken Scheffler.
That's right.
Well, I am not going to go Fitzpatrick, who absolutely ruined me. Almost as bad as Colin Morikawa did with a 10. He was in the hunt last week until he fired a 10 on a par 4. I don't trust JT. Sung J M is 4 under. I like him. Cam Smith, I don't know. I don't know if he's really hurt, if he's got hurt feelings from the way he's been treated. I don't know what the deal is. I'm going to take a flyer here on a guy who started to play well at the end of last week, who's not done much this year, maybe because he had a baby. I'm going with Jon Rahm at 3 under. Mickey.
That was my pick. I was hoping you were going with one of those guys you were talking with about.
Mickey, it's me. You think I'm going to make the wrong move? Come on.
Well, you are in 3rd place.
That is true.
I'm going to go with. I'm going to go with Fitzpatrick. I think putting will be an issue there, and he's the best putter. So Fitzpatrick it is.
Well, nobody is taking Cam Smith, speaking of great putting. Maybe Johnny will. Johnny Lyon. You got to win this week to win, probably.
Yeah, well, you just named him. I'm taking Cam. He hit my future son-in-law in the.
Yep, he hit his phone and gave him a new phone. That, to me, is an incredible story. Did they have much interactions after that? Did he call him to thank him for giving him the phone? Johnny?
Uh-oh.
Yeah, we might have
lost him.
We might have lost Johnny Lyon. Well, we thank Johnny Lyon, by the way, and you, Mickey, for being a part of this the whole year long. It really has been a lot of fun. Do you've got a business mind, and you really understand this game a whole lot. Do you think there will be some sort of compromise between Liv and, especially if some of these bigger names end up going, the next 7 names, whatever they are? I mean, what do you think happens here?
My heart, I want to say no, because I really don't want to Liv to make it. I'm against it.
I am too.
I think there's so much money in it, in the Liv. I don't know how long it's sustainable, how long the Saudis will want to do it. Most of the contracts I'm hearing are 3-year contracts. But yeah, I think there'll be some type of compromise, maybe in year 3 or 4, something like that. That's just a guess.
Well, they don't even go to court until 24. So this is going to be hanging around for a while. We've already seen what the reaction has been. The PGA Tour is doing things. I don't know if they'll go private like that. That'll be the end of the business model for charities if it is. But I don't know what the total answer is, but we see already they're making moves, and the players suggested those things. I think it's amazing that Tiger has stepped forward. And are you for Tiger being the captain emeritus of both the Ryder Cup and the President's Cup in the future here?
Absolutely. Anything that he can be involved with, I think only brings more eyeballs to the game. And it's people that don't typically play golf or follow golf. If Tiger's involved, they're going to be watching. So absolutely. Anytime you can get Tiger, I'm all for it.
All right, last thing for you. I know this has really been an amazing year. You opened up Overton Park. You will open up sometime soon Pine Hill, and you're embarking on an incredible redo, much like you did with Galloway, 10 years ago or whenever the heck that was that Kevin Tucker did. It was longer than that probably. But you're going to do that with Audubon. This is historic times for Memphis Public Golf. You've spearheaded this whole darn thing. Let's start with some timetables, particularly on Pine Hill, and then what you're going to do to Audubon.
Sure. Pine Hill is right in the middle of Grow-In. We've got 9 holes that really, really look good. They were the first 9 holes that were grassed, and they're doing great. The second 9 is really coming along as well. We were about a month behind that grassing, so we've got a few weeks to go. Fortunately, we've got some hot weather remaining. Looks like it's going to be 1st of May on the opening on Pine Hill.
So it'll be
similar
spring.
to what we did,
Mm-hmm.
Similar to what we did 20 years ago at Galloway, which is hard to believe it's been 20 years now.
Wow, 20 years, jeez.
But we'll kind of do the same thing, be about an 18-month process. But it should be ready to go with a grand opening in May.
And how different will that course be from the one we knew?
It'll be a lot different. Now, a few of the holes will look exactly the same. They'll be in the exact same spot, same green location. Of course, they're going to be brand new greens with a lot of undulation, new bunkers. But there's 5 new holes.
Tell me you're
completely different.
Tell me you're keeping 7.
Number 7 is number 10. It's going to be a 535-yard par 5.
Wow.
Now, but fantastic hole. But holes 10 through, 10 through 15 are going to be fantastic golf holes.
Really? So you've changed. I kind of like 10. Yeah. You're changing 10?
Well, the old number 10 is completely gone because the clubhouse is gone, and the number 10 green complex, the old one, will be the number 12 green, which will be a par 5 over water to that green.
Wow.
It will be really, really fantastic.
My gosh. Okay. I can't wait to see that. And then I am told Audubon's going to blow everybody's socks off. Is that true?
Well, we think so. We're set right now. The last day to be open for the old course, as many people call it, will be October 31st, and then construction will begin right after that. And so we're really excited about what it's going to be. It's going to be a multi-year project, going forward with a new clubhouse and all that comes with that. So it's really going to be quite the golf facility there in East Memphis.
When you are done with that, and that's going to take another 18 months, right? So you're going to close it in October, and so we're looking at, 24 spring that we'll see that
Probably,
open?
yes. Spring of 24.
Okay. When you play the Back Tees There Championship, because I think you want to do even some NCAA events there, right? How long will that be?
It will be, right now, it looks like the routing is somewhere 7,100, 7,200 yards, something like that. As Bill Bergen, who's the architect, as he refines it as he's on the ground, it probably will change a little bit, but as of right now, around 7,200 yards.
Wow. Mickey, I can't thank you enough. We'll do this again next year. We really appreciate your dedication, and I can't wait to see Pine Hill and Audubon when it's done. But we still got Galloway and Fox Meadows. Those new greens are terrific too. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Dave. Appreciate you having me.
That is Mickey Barker, head of Memphis City Golf. He's brought to you in part by Dinstall's. Okay. The good news is football is back. The bad news is when football comes in, we say goodbye to strawberries. Oh, it's the last chance. This week, your last chance to get the chocolate-covered strawberries with the fondant that no one knows what is in that fondant. I can tell you this. It's sweet. It somehow breaks down the strawberry, makes it even more juicy. It's the best chocolate-covered fruit of any kind, anywhere, in any city, in any country. Yeah, I said it. That's how good it is. And then, of course, you still will have Cashew Crunch. Maybe that's their signature. You'll still have Turtlettes, their milk chocolate, their dark chocolate, their fudge, which has won awards. You can't beat Dinstall's, even though they're saying goodbye to strawberries. That's sad, but you got one more chance. Get there today. Get there all this next week. You got 5 locations, where they make it at Pleasant View, my neck of the woods, Laurelwood Shopping Center, or you can go to Germantown. You can go to Collierville, or the store, which is really cute, that little store downtown. Dinstall's, last chance to get strawberries. We take a break. When we come back, Pete Pranica, TV voice of the Grizzlies. He's next.
Start your day with Sports 56 Mornings with Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy. Weekday mornings from 7 to 10, right here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
To make this the summer event is hotter than the weather at Gossett Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Fiat, and we're waiting to put you in a new ride today. Come by, pick your ride, and Gossett will get it ordered just for you that day. No running from place to place. Pick the perfect vehicle you want at the perfect price, and it's yours. No extra charges. We Gossett covered. You won't be paying for market adjustments or added cost you can't even figure out. You will not pay more than MSRP for your new Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram or Fiat Plus. Right now, get 0% APR for 72 months on 2022 Charger and Challenger and Gladiator Overland 4x4, plus the 2022 Wagoneer 2 4x4 is 0% for 60 months. Give Gossett a buzz. We're ready to work for you. Drive past the rest. Come to the best. Gossett Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Fiat, or shop online, GossettMotorCars.net.
If you want it, we Gossett at Gossett Motorcars.
APR on Charger, Challenger, XST, and GT model. All pricing includes all rebates and incentives. Excludes tax title and license with approved credit. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 9/1/2022. Dealer stock only.
Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
Chris Price here for Brian Elder Roofing. Have you been turned down by your homeowner's insurance in the past 12 months for damage you believe you're owed? Call Brian Elder Roofing now. Our professionals will do a no-obligation, thorough evaluation of your property and document all damage we find. Our fully certified Hague inspectors are trained to identify storm damage, to assess and build a full estimate in a language your carrier will understand. If there is no damage found, we will tell you just that. We build a data file of your actual storm damage for your carrier, all at no cost to you, free. So call now for your comprehensive roof guarantee from Brian Elder Roofing. Call us, 867-0303. That's 867-0303, or schedule online at brianelderroofing.com. Because if you think it's a claim, we'll help you show it's a claim.
Call 867-0303. Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
DQ presents How to experience the new DQ Reese's Take 5 Blizzard with your 5 senses. First, open your eyes and see it all. Reese's peanut butter cups, caramel, peanuts, pretzels. It's beautiful. Then, feel it. Oh, it's cold. Next, listen to it. Now, smell it with your nose. Ooh, sweet top notes. And finally, taste it. Experience the new Reese's Take 5 Blizzard today. DQ, happy tastes good. Get it delivered at DQ.com. Delivery subject to availability, additional fees, and minimum order requirements.
Nestled in the heart of East Memphis, located corner of Park and Cherry, is a beautiful residential neighborhood. I'm here at Town Village Audubon Park interviewing a new resident, Carolyn. Share with us why you chose Town Village.
Well, if your parents or special friends need to make that big move, let me share with you my experience. It was tough for me to leave home, but then I discovered Town Village. I would like to highly recommend Town Village to you and your loved ones. After looking at all the amenities and meeting all the people and staff, I was hooked. From restaurant, bistro, 3 meals per day, housekeeping, transportation, security, health care, physical therapy, exercise room, and even a heated pool and spa. Come see us and make your new home at Town Village.
Visit us and call Daniel at Town Village Audubon Park at 901-374-7342. There's no place like home, Town Village.
Now back to Wolo and Friends on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM, presented by Homer Skelton Hyundai. Here once again is the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin.
Pete Pranica, man of many talents, TV voice of the Grizzlies, world traveler. He's just back from Paris, France, and also thespian. He is going to be doing a one-man show for the Memphis Shakespearean Company. Remember Hal Holbrook doing the one-man show, Mark Twain? He is going to be doing that in Memphis in October. How do you find time to do all this stuff and still play golf, Pete? Come on.
Well, it's hard. It's hard to fit all that in. Actually, it is going to be Sunday, September the 18th.
Oh, September.
3:00 at Tennessee Shakespeare Company. I just talked with Dan McCleary, the executive producer, and we're 70% sold out. So if you want to go see me as Mark Twain on Sunday, September the 18th, tnshakespeare.org is the place to get your tickets.
Okay, Tennessee Shakespeare Company. Okay, got that.
Yep.
tnshakespeare.com. Beautiful.
.org.
.org. Okay. I'm glad you plugged that. I can't wait to see that. You did that in high school, right? You did some sort of thing like this?
Yeah, I did it in speech competitions, but it's not in costume, and it's like 10 minutes. This is going to be a full hour-long show. So, it's going to be quite exciting. It's kind of getting on the high wire. It's unlike anything I've ever done before. So, new experiences. Here's the new experiences.
Cool experience. Okay, that sounds beautiful. Schedule out. I wonder how you feel about this. All these 18 national games, but you still get to do yours. I know you do when they do the 10 NBA net games. What about those 10 games that are, or 18 games that are on national TV? Triple what I think they had over the last couple of years.
Yeah. The way the contracts are written, if it's on ABC or it's on TNT, it's exclusive to them. We're just waiting to get the final word back from the league, but the anticipation is that, if games are on TNT, the locals typically don't have the opportunity to do that, and the same for ABC. So we're going to be, if everything is what it is and has been in the past, not doing as many games as we would like. There's nothing worse, Wolo. I mean, as a play-by-play guy.
Sure.
You want to do every game you possibly can, and there are going to be some games this year that we're just not going to be able to do, and that's the way it works.
Yeah, but it is really exciting for the team to get that kind of exposure, and when you're getting 18 national TV games and then the extra 10 on NBA TV, it shows you the league now wants to showcase this team.
Without a doubt. I mean, John Moran is such a compelling player. It's an exciting team. They play an exciting brand of basketball. And those are things that, clearly they looked at the ratings and they looked at the series with Golden State, how competitive that was, the impact that Ja had on it, the rivalries that are starting to brew. And it makes for good television. I mean, you look at now a lot on social media, the NBA is putting out best handles. Well, John Morant's in that. Best dunks, he's in that. Best buzzer beaters, he's in that compilation as well. So it behooves the league to market their stars, which they've always done a very good job of doing. And now the Grizzlies actually have one of those stars, and so the national TV games and all the attention is well deserved, and certainly we expected this.
You know, the best buzzer beater, I don't think this play got as much attention as it should have. I think it may be the best buzzer beater I have ever seen, except maybe the one that Arkansas had, a 90-footer at the I'm trying to remember who did that, way back in the 90s. But that play where Valanciunas inbounds the ball with the football pass to the left corner, falling out of bounds as the darn thing and ends up tickling the twine, and the buzzer goes off to end a half. I can't even remember who it was against, but that may be one of the greatest buzzer beaters of all time.
Well, indeed it was. It was the Ja 52-point game against San Antonio.
Oh, yeah.
Moments after he had taken Jakob Poeltl down, and then 0.4 of a second, you've got to go full court. And Steven Adams, who actually made several long passes throughout the course of the year. I mean, an absolutely perfect pinpoint pass. Morant's hanging in the air because with 0.4 of a second by NBA rules, basically a catch and shoot. I don't even know if he could get a dribble off. It was all he could do. And he leaps in the air, catches and shoots in one motion. And to me, that was the highlight of the year. And it could be the highlight of the decade for the Grizzlies.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, because it was so remarkable. And like I said, it came just moments after he dunked on Poeltl. So that was the craziest end to a quarter I think you'll ever see.
It was incredible. I'm with you there. All right, when you first see this schedule, what are some of the things that strike you? I know for me, when I saw the beginning, remember there was a 9-10 start last year. That's not going to happen this year. Even without Triple J, I think 10 of the teams or 10 of the games are against teams that didn't make the playoffs last year.
Yeah, I mean, you do have an opportunity to potentially make some hay. Now, 6 of the first 8 are going to be on the road. You know, now what's New York going to be with Jalen Brunson? You see them on an opening night. Houston's rebuilding. Dallas, they're obviously changed. Brooklyn is I guess Kevin Durant's staying, and so is Kyrie Irving. That will be interesting. But then you go Sacramento, consecutive games at Utah, and then Portland. You know, if you are able to handle your business, you could get off to a pretty decent start there, which I think that's going to be important. Sacramento annually struggles. Utah apparently is tanking. And then Portland, you're never really quite sure because obviously Lillard is there, but they're in kind of a transitional mode as well. So, yeah, you could really get off to a good start. But again, 6 of 8 on the road. But the upside of that is, well, you have an opportunity to go west and have your team bond a little bit in the early portion of the season. The other trip that really jumps out at me, Wolo, is when you go after we've had MLK Day against Phoenix and the home game against Cleveland, then a 5-gamer, Lakers, Phoenix, Kings, Golden State, Minnesota. And Phoenix to Sacramento is a back-to-back. That's the longest trip of the year, and you've got some really good teams on that trip. And that I think is going to be a very, very difficult trip and one that will tell us just how good this team is.
I love it that MLK's got Phoenix. That is just such a great game. And obviously, this is not contrived. This thing with Golden State, because of the playoffs and the Dylan Brooks stuff and everything else that went into it, this has really become a rivalry, much the way we thought we would see with New Orleans in the division. You've definitely got it with Golden State.
Yeah, and I think it even harkens to the Oklahoma City rivalry in the Core 4 era because there's some legitimate bad blood. It's not like the rivalry with San Antonio where there was a lot of mutual respect. I think that there's certainly some bad blood as there was with the Oklahoma City series back in the day. But when it becomes a real rivalry is when, the Grizzlies can win a playoff series because, Steve, Steve Kerr, agree with him or not, it's like, oh, it's not really a rivalry yet because we've won all the playoff series. So this is an opportunity, for Memphis, and on a Christmas Day game in their building, it's definitely made for TV. The only other option I think ABC or the league would have had is like, okay, well, let's take Boston out there on Christmas Day. But just given how competitive that series was, how emotional it was, you've got the defending champs, you've got the upstarts, you've got John Morant, most improved player in the league, in the MVP balloting a year ago. That I think was a very, very easy call for them, particularly when the league had no idea where Kevin Durant was going to end up.
By the way, somebody needs to remind Steve Kerr that the Grizzlies beat Golden State in their new house to knock them out of the playoffs in the play-in game the year before. So they have had success in a critical pressure-packed time. Last thing, you brought up KD. Did you ever really think he was coming here?
No. It was funny because I was on the plane leaving France, and I'm getting only partial text, and I'm getting like the bug eye emoji. It was like, what's going on in Memphis? And then you find out it's like, well, there's Shams is reporting the Grizzlies have contacted Brooklyn about this, and you're like, well, if these reports are accurate, trading a big bunch of draft picks does not sound like Zach Kleiman at all. So I was like, okay. I mean, the price that Brooklyn was asking, and they were not going to waver. You're talking all-star caliber player, a lot of picks, either a guy who is on the verge of being a rotational player or is a rotational player. That's a very, very high price. And Zach Kleiman has always said, we're not going to do something just for the sake of doing something splashy. We're going to do something that is consistent with our process. And to give up a bunch of draft picks and players that you have worked very, very hard to develop to get Kevin Durant, it just didn't seem like something that would be in the Grizzlies' DNA to do.
Especially for a guy who's got a $50 million a year price tag. He's 34. He'll be 38 when that ends. And he's been hurt a bunch. I never thought it would really happen either. Pete, as always, welcome back home. Can't wait to see you, Mark Twain. And we thank you much. I know we'll be talking to you again in the very near future.
Sounds good, Wolo. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. That is Pete Pranica. He's brought to you by Conway. Conway Services, heating, cooling, plumbing, electric, and, of course, the famous tune-up. You can't beat this tune-up. 16 points inside. They'll check Freon leaks. They'll make sure your Freon levels are perfect. They go outside. They will clean out your outside unit. There's dirt, there's grime, there's leaves in there. They've been in there for a long time. Unless you're like me, you get 2 tune-ups a year. So I don't ever get the buildup. And in the summer, by the way, they'll put a Teflon coating on the blades to protect your unit. Now, if you are in tune, you are efficient. If you stay efficient, your system lasts longer. These things ain't cheap, folks. Take care. Maintenance, $69 for that tune-up and the Freon check and the Teflon coating and like taking your system to a car wash. It really does help. 384-3511. That's the number for Conway. Thank you all for listening. We thank Johnny and Mickey for their picks all year long. We'll do this again tomorrow. Have a great day, everyone.
I know the sweetest thing in Memphis, and